Let me quickly introduce about Avalon Software Services. So Avalon has been a trusted partner for over a decade now, delivering top-notch services to our clients. We have got a talented team of over 5,000 plus professionals and 200 plus Oracle certified consultants who are working with us across the globe. And we are successfully executed more than 150 plus projects globally, with 20 of them being Fortune 500 clients. So our flexible service delivery model offers both offshore and on-site support, allowing us to manage full cycle projects efficiently. And as proud partners with Oracle and part of Vision Group of companies, we bring a wealth of expertise and commitment to every project we undertake. So as I said, as a part of Vision Group of companies, which is SCMI Level 3 certified company, so we leverage over 2 decades of industry experience and global workforce. So we have managed projects valued at over $1 billion with affiliation. And this affiliation gives us access to a vast talent pool and deep knowledge across a wide range of domains. To Avalon Software Services Solutions. At Avalon, we provide a wide range of services ranging from enterprise applications such as Oracle Fusion and EBS to managed IT services, digital technologies, custom ERP solutions, and expert consulting for implementations, upgrades, and much more. Coming to our global presence, we do have our headquarters in USA, with presence in Canada, India, Australia, Middle East, South Africa, and the UK. So we are strategically located to ensure that we are always close to our clients. Coming to today's webinar topic, which is Oracle SCM Cloud Procurement Sourcing and Negotiations. We'll try to keep this webinar fun and interactive. And during this session, if anyone has any questions related to the topic, feel free to drop them in Q&A session, and we will try to clarify them in between the topics. Now, without any further delay, let me introduce our principal consultant, subject matter expert, and the presenter of this webinar, Ms. Jahnavi Satale. Welcome, Ms. Jahnavi. You can please take it over from here.
Thanks, Panindra, for introducing me. Hello, everyone, and good morning, good afternoon, and good evening in whichever respective time zones you all are into. I'm happy to start with this topic and give a small intro as well as the webinar onto the Oracle sourcing and negotiation. Coming to my background, I'm basically 11 years, having 11 years of experience into Oracle Fusion and functional consulting, still counting, because Oracle is a module, Oracle is the platform which gives us a flexibility to the client as well as to the implementation consultant. So I'm still counting in this particular area. Throughout these years, I was part of the implementation, support, and rollout projects. I worked on multiple Oracle projects which were revolving around Oracle SCM and CRM modules. I worked in EBS as well as in Fusion, and in APAC and USA region projects, I was basically part of those delivery projects. Apart from that, I worked onto the India localization projects as well. So in this 11 years of experience, I was basically part of different organizations of, the manufacturing organization, Big Four organization, as well as currently got opportunity to work with Avalon Software Services as well. Would like to introduce me more about myself, and basically I'm a passionate Oracle functional consultant, and apart from that I have one kid as well, the person who actually keeps me engaging all the time. But yeah, Oracle functional work is also that quite engaging, I would say. I love singing, dancing, and coloring as well. Nowadays I enjoy all these activities with my son, with my kid. And I believe that it keeps us connected with our next generation, because there is nothing else which we can do other than these all things and engaging kind of activities, I would say. I wanted to learn four-wheeler driving and then swimming. These two things I wanted to learn in this year or in next year. This is something which I have set for myself, apart from working onto the Oracle modules, I would say. So yeah, this is pretty much about me. And yeah, I would like to hear from you all as well, but whenever the time permits. Can we go to the next slide, please?
Sure, Ms. Janvi. I think
Thank
Ms.
you.
Jahnavi here comes with lot of experience and exposure in multiple industries and multiple regions. And she is in one of the best phases any parent can have, enjoying with their children.
Definitely. Thank you, Bunny. Yeah, I don't beat my son, so yeah, definitely I must be the good parent. Yeah,
So
let's go to
welcome to
the
the new parenting.
yeah, definitely. Yeah. So the key topics which we will be discussing, which are revolving around negotiation and sourcing negotiation, what we call it as an Oracle. So we will be discussing more about what exactly sourcing negotiation is, why we create negotiation, who is having and rights and ability to create negotiation into system, what all negotiation types and subtypes Oracle is providing us so that we can create it, when, where, and how exactly negotiations are basically created. And if time permits, definitely we'll take some questions from the audience. So yeah, let's get started with the topics and we can go to the next slide, please. Yeah. So basically, what exactly is Oracle negotiation? Oracle negotiation is actually a negotiation only which we use in the layman's terms. It's basically providing us a flexibility and capability to the buyer as well as the seller of the organizations. It enables them to efficiently do a business and get the best possible price throughout the process for the goods and services which they wanted to procure from the supplier. The prices which are established through the process, through this negotiation process, and its actual supply demand at the time of negotiation, which is after transaction also, the prices will be established. What is basically Oracle negotiation will provide us, what all features it is providing us. It's basically providing you or whoever is the sourcing specialist at the organization. It provides that person a capability to create and update negotiation. It will also allow them to create agreements into the system, create a purchase order into the system, create contract records into the system, awarding a supplier whichever have basically won that particular negotiation process, capture negotiation surrogate responses if at all the supplier is not having proper rights or accesses. And there are many more other features which Oracle negotiation is providing us, which we will take a deep dive into our further slides. But negotiation process is basically providing us an ability to have a good business with our supplier, to have a good rapport, and then at the same time do the best business with them. Why these negotiations are basically created? Definitely to decrease the unit cost of the services as well as the items which we wanted to procure, increase the productivity because it is actually allowing us to use self-service procurement. So in this case, the productivity will be increased because there will be there will be less offline communication and more online communication through Oracle products. So it will increase the productivity. It will decrease the counterparty risk because all the suppliers which we will be using in this process will be already qualified through the rounds, the other module which we have, which is qualification round. So it will decrease the counterparty risk. So when we are using Oracle negotiation module itself, at that time we are getting all these features along with the negotiation, the best practices features. So that's why we are using negotiation into Oracle. Go to the next slide, maybe. We'll try to explain a basic negotiation flow which will be used while we are using Oracle negotiation. So it will basically start with creation of the negotiation. When negotiation is created at that time, whoever is the sourcing manager or sourcing specialist will be opening that particular form, will add all the requirements, will add all the lines which they wanted to procure from the supplier. They will also add all the suppliers with whom they wanted to do a negotiation. They'll give overview of the negotiation in one area which Oracle is providing us, and rest all details also we can provide to our supplier as a information. After that, we will publish the negotiation to our supplier so that they can start responding to the negotiation. There is one other platform Oracle is providing us, which is called as supplier portal, through which supplier can start responding to the negotiation which they are basically part. And apart from that, if they don't have that particular supplier portal, then offline also they can reach out to the negotiation manager. They can send email also, and then whoever is the negotiation manager can capture surrogate response on behalf of the supplier. So that is the inbuilt feature Oracle is providing us. Once this all is done, the analyzing of responses will be started through the system or directly also. Whoever is a negotiation specialist can do that. After analyzing, after having a proper analysis of the price, of the dates where the supplier is providing us, the dates of the particular date when they can send all those goods to us, and rest all details also based on our requirements. So basically, while we are creating a requisition, we can raise a requirement like the supplier should have particular documents, or the supplier should be registered somewhere. So all those, or particular size, the organization size should be something. So these all requirements they'll be fulfilling, and accordingly only the analysis process will happen and the closing of negotiation will happen. After that, we'll be basically awarding suppliers with the negotiation. So awarding is nothing but giving a business to them. For that, we will complete the award, and then once that is done, the purchase order or VPA or CPA or any other documents, whichever we have selected as part of creating a negotiation, will be created in the last. So this is basically a journey of negotiation. And in this particular journey, who all will be part of that? Might be a buyer, sourcing manager, sourcing specialist, and definitely a supplier or supplier contact. These all people will be part of this particular flow cycle. I think I have explained much. So can we take a pause and just check if we have any questions, Fanindra?
January, let me quickly come to the slide 10. So yes, we do have a couple of questions. And the question number one, can we create negotiations in bulk?
Yes, definitely. It's a very good question. Because most of the time in Oracle, the direct creation is definitely possible, but there are places where we wanted to do a bulk load. FBDI load is available, Fanindra, which we can basically use it and then upload all the negotiations lines and then get it moving, like send it for the approval and all. So yeah, through FBDI it's possible.
So creating negotiation is in bulk is possible.
Definitely.
Okay. Question number two, iSupplier login will be created automatically when we register new supplier while create negotiation?
Basically, while create negotiation, no, it's not like while creating a negotiation, but well before time when we are actually creating a supplier, at that time only we have to create contacts, and the contacts has to be there is one more setup in that but supplier base which we have to do, so that that supplier contact will be having access to the supplier portal. So at that level itself, it has to be done, because it's not really work of the negotiation specialist, but it's a work which has to be done well before time, well before the supplier creation, I would say.
So hope Ms. Jahnavi has addressed your questions, and if anyone has any questions or doubts related to this topic, feel free to drop them in the Q&A chat and we will try to address them as well. Moving on to this slide.
Yeah, let's go to the next slide, please. Yeah. So who creates negotiation? In Oracle, for every action, we have security roles and responsibilities. I'm sorry. And in this case as well, buyer and sourcing specialist is having that responsibility to create negotiation. Apart from that, there is one crucial setup which we have to do as every person, every buyer and specialist has to be created as a agent, and then they should have we should allocate the agent access to them, and in that the managed negotiation, this access needs to be provided to them. If at all organization wants one particular agent to look at the other agent's document, then that particular functionality is also available over here. So yeah, buyer and negotiation specialists are having those rights to create a negotiation into the system. Yeah, can we go to the next slide, please?
Yes, Ms. Janani.
Here we are trying to explain what exactly are the types and subtypes of the negotiation. It's broadly divided into two types, which is RFX. We called it as RFX because it's further divided into RFI, a request for information, request for proposal, and quote. We have another which is called as auction, and this is also further divided into, it's not basically divided, but we have two types of auctions, which is buy auction and sell auction. When we say request for information, it's basically a type of negotiation which can be used by the sourcing specialist when they are basically not really sure, like what exactly they might require from their supplier, or when exactly that is required, but still they wanted to start with the process. They wanted to start with the process. They wanted to get a hang of the particular requirement, and they wanted to send that messages to the supplier that something is coming in the way. So request for information kind of negotiation will be created. It's just to capture the information. So in this round, they can send and receive some information from the suppliers as well. When we say request for proposal, it's little it's little advanced than the RFI, I would say. In this type of negotiation, we are basically not creating any purchase order or VPA CPA, but again we are asking for the proposal from suppliers. We are also asking them to send or submit some documents if they have it, and they can accordingly the negotiation team can start looking at the proposal. After that, we have request for quote. This is basically a kind of a legal document or legal procedure, I would say. In this process, the output will be definitely created. So when we say any supplier, with any supplier, we are trying to create a request for quote, or we are sending them RFQ. That means that the particular supplier has gone through all kind of round, like proposal and all is already done, and we wanted to do business with that particular supplier. So RFQ will be raised with that particular supplier. So obviously there'll be hundreds of suppliers to whom we'll be sending that RFQ, but then according to our analysis, the awarding process will happen. Let's go to the next type, which is called as auctions. We have buy auction and sell auction. Like the word says, it's auction bidding process. In case of sell auction, sometimes the inventory is lined up with the organization. They wanted to get rid of that. They will use sell auctions, and they will just invite all their suppliers or whoever contacts the can buy that particular goods from them. They'll be just arranging that particular auction process. Same way, say buy auction is also there, where again it's just a bidding process. It's kind of same to the RFQ only, but in this process, the bidding process will be there, and then awarding will happen based on the bidding. It's just a slight difference from RFQ, but auction based. In the right hand side, we have a image where create negotiation. We can see under that we can clearly see negotiation types: RFQ, auction, RFI, RFP. These all types we can see. We have one more type we can see, which is demanded database, which is a custom type which is created. So Oracle is providing us the opportunity to create custom types as well, where definitely we'll use the seeded type and just rename it with a custom. Let's go to the next slide, please, Surendra. Yeah. So when basically negotiations are created, I think, yeah. So it's basically created at the requisitions area and at the non-catalog area as well. So purchasing services and sourcing services are two instances where the negotiations are created. So when we are having a negotiation, already pre-negotiated items are already there in the catalog or in the smart forms. This is basically a pre-negotiation where with the help of that, we are creating other document, which is called as requisition or purchase order. In the right hand side, we see create non-catalog request. Over here, Oracle is providing us with the checkboxes, which we can see in the down, like negotiation required and negotiated. These boxes we can use and can go for the processes. So these are the instances where catalog, non-catalog smart forms can be used to create a negotiation. Yeah. Do we have any questions? Let's take a small pause, Kalindra.
Yes, Ms. Jahnavi. So as this is a very popular subject, we do have a lot of questions waiting. So in R12, will iSupplier login automatically created?
In which instance you are saying?
In R12,
Basically, iSupplier.
iSupplier login
Okay,
automatically created?
this one is a different topic. Basically, it's not. This topic is basically revolving around negotiation. iSupplier, we can maybe get back to this question, but yeah, it's a very good question. I'll get back to you.
Sure. So we will be getting back to you
Definitely.
on these questions and we will be answering. Hope we will be having a one-on-one session with them and we'll clarify the answers.
Definitely.
And question number 2, do we need to create new supplier before sending negotiations, or can we avoid creating suppliers for every sourcing event?
We have to have a supplier. Basically, we can create it or we can pre-create it. Like in supplier base itself, we can create a supplier and start negotiating with them. So yeah, when we are saying negotiation with the supplier, it's a must-have or prerequisite. We have to have a supplier. Without supplier, we cannot start with the negotiation process.
Okay. The question number 3, for create negotiation, buyer setup is mandatory for users?
Yeah, it's mandatory. It's mandatory. Buyer setup, because that's the agent access which we were showing in another slide. So yeah, it's a mandatory. We call it as a procurement agent in Fusion. But yeah, it's mandatory.
Question number 4, can we create our own negotiation types?
Yes, we can create. I was showing in another another slide that demand is something. So we can create our
Demanded
own.
investments.
Yeah. We can create our own negotiation type with the seeded type. So we can take a seeded type. Let's take an example, RFQ, and then from that we can create new, and we can rename that, and then there are multiple other options also in that which are auto enabled. But if you don't wanted to use those, we can just disable those.
I think Oracle has thought about everything. So they have created RFPs, options, and as well as the customizations in the negotiations.
Customization.
So, yes. So next question. What are the tables involved here?
It's again a technical question. I don't wanted to give wrong answer over here. But yeah, negotiation tables are there as well as the sourcing tables are there. So yeah, we'll get back to you. But right now, I don't wanted to give
Sure.
the different
So
marks. Yeah.
you're not sure about what kind of tables that
Yeah,
this
Oracle
audience is
tables
talking
are there.
about, but
Yeah,
definitely Oracle tables are involved here.
definitely more. Yes.
But we would require more information on what kind of tables.
Yeah.
Yes. Next question. Can we reuse negotiation which was created earlier?
Definitely we can use. There is a duplicate functionality is there in that window itself. With the help of that, we can create a duplicate of existing negotiation. Apart from that, there is one more functionality which is called as negotiation template. So with whichever negotiation is something which we have gone through all the processes, we can take that particular negotiation, we can create a template out of it, and we can reuse it later. So multiple ways, but these two are the common ways.
So, the next question is item code and proper description is necessary, or I can open RFQ with limited information and later we can update item description.
Definitely. But item code, when we are adding an item code, at that time, automatically the description will come if that item is already there into item master. But if at all we wanted to start with the minimum mandatory information in the negotiation, start with the process, we can start with that, and later on we can amend that. But it's good practice if we are actually publishing that to our suppliers, right? So before that only, if we have everything added, and once we are good with everything, once we can keep it in draft status, and once we are good with everything, after that only let's publish that. We should try to do that, but otherwise amendment is also possible in negotiation.
It's good to know. So we hope we have answered every questions which are posted till now, and we will be waiting for more questions. So please post your questions in Q&A session, and we'll try to answer them in our strategic breaks. So I think we can move on to next slide.
Definitely, yeah. Where negotiations are created, there are two places basically. So when it comes to the right, like the image which is at the right, left hand side, process negotiation. So in the organization, we like the person who is having a request or requisition, that person will raise an requisition in their system in self-service procurement. They can do that, and once after that, the requisition will lined up into the buyer's bucket. It's a buyer's choice, I would say, and his work as well, to convert those requisitions into purchase order, or if he is not kind of aligned with the supplier, or if he wanted to go through the negotiation process, here itself Oracle is providing you to take an opportunity to start with the negotiation process. So instead of creating directly a purchase order, we can go through the round of negotiation. So here we can see in this particular screenshot, type is new negotiation is there. So we can select that and can add all those lines which we wanted to negotiate with our supplier and add it to the document builder and create a negotiation out of it. It will go through the same rounds, but this is the place where negotiation can be created from requisitions. Apart from that, actual negotiation area, actual negotiation workspace where create negotiation link we'll have to click and we'll start creating a negotiation. So yeah, these are the two places where negotiations will be created.
To next
Can
slide.
yeah. So how exactly these negotiations are created? Again, having a proper access of negotiation work area, the person or let's call it as a sourcing specialist will log into that, will select the style template or all the details in that particular area of create negotiation, will add all the details of the overview, requirements, lines, supplier, and will publish it to the suppliers. After that, they can wait for the responses from the supplier. They'll start monitoring. While other suppliers have already responded, they can start monitoring that. Once the sourcing specialist is okay, or he have received enough responses for that negotiation, he can monitor that and can start awarding or closing the negotiation and awarding the negotiation. So this is basically a process how exactly negotiation is created. Yeah, let's take a small pause if we have any other questions, Farindra.
Yes, we do have a couple of questions. So question number one, can we create negotiation in multiple currency with conversion?
Yeah, there is a negotiation currency which is already which is part of that. We can create that, but at the same time, basically, when one negotiation is created, it should be in a one currency. But when the suppliers will respond back, we can give them an opportunity to give in their currency. So they can respond in their currency, which we can convert and have it in our currency. So yeah, that conversion Oracle is providing us. Those features are available.
Question number two, when we convert requisition in negotiation and quotation not received, in that case, can we convert requisition in PO as per previous quotes?
If we can you please repeat that question? I did not understand. I'm sorry.
When we convert requisitions in negotiation and quotation not received, in that case, can we convert requisition in PO as per previous quotes?
In that case, we have to abruptly close that particular negotiation and award it to one supplier, or else you can close that or discard that negotiation. It will come back to the requisitioning area and you can create a purchase order. So yeah, that flexibility is there, but to avoid that, there are multiple things which we can do offline as well. But yeah, Oracle is providing us that flexibility.
And next question, How many suppliers can be invited at max?
I believe 500 suppliers can be invited at max in one negotiation round. So yeah, it's pretty much, I believe, 500 suppliers are possible.
500, that's a lot.
That's a lot, really. But yeah, it's a maximum limit, so no, there should not be any complaints. Oracle have provided those features.
Awesome. Next question, how you add requisitions to an existing negotiation?
Yes, we can add to existing negotiation. What will happen is it will create an amendment if the negotiation is already going on. It's not closed. Let's consider that it's not closed. It's still in the response level, and we have added a new requisition line into that. It will create an amendment, and then further to that, it will be just the same process. So yeah, that's possible.
You have another question?
Yeah.
Can we restrict sourcing event for specific operating units?
Can we restrict instead of that? We can call it as how like, is it possible to like specific? Let's call it as a procurement BU in this case, because it's a procurement BU. We are in Fusion, so procurement BU we call it as. And yeah, we are not saying that we can restrict, but we can allow multiple procurement BUs to do a negotiation process.
I think we have covered all the questions, and if anyone have any questions or doubts, please post them in Q&A session, and we will make sure that we will address those questions as well. So moving on to the next slide.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, this is pretty much the last slide of the technical Oracle part. So these two are basically the Oracle overview pages of. So Oracle is again giving us the dashboard kind of a structure. So whoever is the sourcing specialist will have this dashboard, which is at the left hand side, and whoever is the supplier having access to the supplier portal will have the right hand side dashboard, which is kind of a readily available dashboard. In the sourcing specialist view, we can easily see like my negotiations are given, like whichever negotiation that person have created, those are listed over here in the pie chart form, which are closing next, like in the next couple of days, that number will be given over here. What all recent activities that person have performed, that will be given to the next in the next snippet, we can say. If there are any messages he or she have received from the supplier onto the negotiation, those will also be populated over here. Expiring agreements details are also given over here. Then in my performance, whichever negotiations they have they have created or got the responses from the supplier, that all saving, whatever saving that person have done, that is also given over here. There are multiple snippets which we can add, but this is the seeded, I would say, the dashboard, which is visible to the sourcing specialist person. In the right hand side, we have suppliers view. Again, in the requiring attention, again a pie chart is given. There are multiple places where the supplier attention is required, but in the last part where the negotiation messages are there, that is basically related to the negotiation area. Rest all is the other areas of the other areas where the supplier needs to give the attention. There are recent activities related to negotiation, like negotiation invitations. So to whichever negotiation that supplier contact is been invited, that number is given over here. If that person will click on that, it will be listing all the negotiation invitation lined up in that particular supplier's contact bucket. The next is the supply negotiation responses awarded and rejected. So he will be able to have that visibility, like which all negotiation he have responded, those got awarded or rejected. So all that visibility is given to the supplier portal and in the supplier contact, I would say. So yeah, this is pretty much the overview page, and this is pretty much the technical things which I wanted to discuss about the negotiation. Let's take a pause, and if we have any questions, Panindra.
Sure, Ms. Janavi. So I can see the sourcing specialist view and suppliers view. These windows are very well designed. So all the information is provided just at a glance. We can get all the information.
Definitely. Yeah, yeah. So no need to have a complex report. We can definitely have a complex report, but this is something which is seeded Oracle is providing us. We can utilize that, and if at all the work is not completed, we can go for the reports and analytics. Also, we can create custom reports of the of negotiation and further areas.
So coming to our Q&A session.
Okay. Yeah.
We do have a couple of questions. So question number 1, can we reuse negotiations which was created earlier?
Yeah, we can create negotiation which was created earlier. So as I was explaining earlier, duplicate negotiation. Yeah, yeah, that we can do. It's a duplicate question, but yeah, we can do that.
So next question, how many suppliers can be invited at max? I think you have already answered this. 500 at max, 500 at max. So,
amazing.
And next question, have you add requisition to an existing negotiation?
Yeah, that's what the existing negotiation will be already there, and then amendment will be created. So yeah, we can add requisition lines to the existing existing negotiation. It will create amendment to that negotiation. So yeah, that's possible again in a right.
So those are. Wait a minute. We have new questions just now. Can we customize the graphical representation, which is pie charts shown on the dashboard?
Okay. Yeah, we can create new. It's again a technical query. We can create new pie charts also. We can add it there, and we can amend the existing one as well. But that's a seeded one, so we should be aware like it will have impact to others area as well. So it's better to have a fresh report, I would say, and just keep the seeded part as it is, and then create a fresh out of it.
As per my opinion, pie chart looks really good because it can cover all the negotiation which you have shown in the last screen. So it has covered the upcoming negotiation, already existing negotiation, and the negotiation which are going to expire, and it has every details in that little pie chart.
Yes, 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 definitely.
So we are done with the Q&A session, Ms. Jahnavi. I hope we have answered every question, and if at all we have missed any questions, please feel free to write to us at sales@avalonsoftwareservices.com, and we will definitely have a one-to-one session where we can answer all your queries. And thank you very much, Ms. Jahnavi. It was such an insightful webinar. Thank you very much for your amazing insights on this amazing topic and sharing industry best practices based on your experiences.
Yeah, I would like to thank the audience as well as yourself, Anindra, for arranging this wonderful session. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you. And thank you everyone for your attention and participation. By the way, we are offering free health check to all the participants. To avail the free assessment, please write to us at sales@avalonsoftwareservices.com, or you can write to me at Phanindra, which is PHANANDRA.K @avalonsoftwareservices.com, and we will reach out to you to schedule a meeting to understand the requirement. And if you have any doubts, queries, or want to talk business, please reach out to us at sales@avalonsoftwareservices.com. And to know more about Avalon Software Services and offerings, head to our website, which is www.avalonsoftwareservices.com. So we will be running a webinar series on insightful content like this. Please look out for our LinkedIn page or our website for latest updates on webinars and events. If at all you have missed our previous webinars or want to rewatch this webinar, you can visit our YouTube channel. Just head to YouTube, type in Avalon Software Services. You'll find our channel, and feel free to subscribe if you don't want to miss any other updates or videos or webinars which we post in our YouTube channel. And you can also follow us on Twitter for the latest updates. Our Twitter handle is Avalon Software Services. Thank you everyone for your valuable time, and look forward to connecting with you all. soon.